a loss here or a win there. What does it all mean? More math than you really wanted on a Friday night, but it can only mean one thing. It's week 11 of Friday Night End Zone. Let's ride. I'm going to withstand from the Laura Rutledge eye roll right there because we got some big games tonight. We're down on the field with Anthony Johnson, popular guy, obviously. AJ, let's go ahead and start talking about fall camp. Coach Red said that he kind of hit you guys with a fire hose mentality.
Preston, these grounds are not going to break themselves. They got me put out to work here, but for real, this has been a long time coming for Virginia. When Carla Williams became the AD here, she always had this vision with what she deemed the master plan.
Tonight, just a few moments ago, we spoke to UVA head coach Tony Elliott and UVA director of athletics Carla Williams. Obviously a very somber mood. Elliott just coming from the hospital where he was checking in with running back Mike Hollins, who is in stable condition. Obviously the headliner is out here in the jungle tonight, but we've got a lot more for week 10 of Friday Night End Zone. So we're going to go to Monticello High School where you have CBS19's Ann Parker Coleman to give us a rundown of the rest of tonight's slate. Hey, AP.
Hey, Preston. Well, no parades, no thousands of fans here, but still a big night for the Monticello Maniacs.
Tony Bennett just finished talking about just the picture. The team knows what they have to do coming into this week. Do you think it is as simple as win the ACC tournament or get ready for the NIT?
They're giving NIL to college players. What about a little head and shoulders deal from my man Mac here?
You can catch our full story with Kyle and the guys over at CBS19news.com.
Yeah, I would like a sponsorship from Head & Shoulders also.
I think we have the hair for it.
And we're here joined by Ramon Garza, the new head coach of the Tom Sox. So you were part of this group when you guys won the Valley League Championship. You're now back as the coach. How has that transition been, getting from player to now coach?
Yeah, it's been really exciting. I had a really good time here. And
Reese Beekman said he got a text yesterday afternoon, and he said it was from his mom. And his mom was asking, did he have any tickets for the game? Of course, Mom. Of course he's got tickets for the game for you. His mom from Baton Rouge hopped on a plane and was here in the crowd tonight at Cameron Indoor Stadium to watch her son hit a game-winning three from right here behind me.
Now joining us, of course, from the Dome, Preston, a lot to unpack in that matchup. Let's just go ahead and start with a vague question. What exactly did we witness?
Well, Ann Parker, you actually said it perfectly there. It was just mistakes throughout the night, hurting themselves all throughout the night. After a first half that, let's just say, was forgettable, and you want to forget it if you're UVA.
Not a big surprise here in Charlotte. This morning, conversations of conference realignment took center stage during ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips' forum.
One of the newest Wahoos, Sam Burnell, a familiar face for many of you here for Cavalier Tip-Off. Now, Sam, let's start with what has been the biggest surprise, moving from those seats that you used to sit in as a kid to being on the court, wearing this uniform now as a Cavalier.
Yeah, it's incredible. I was just saying a little bit ago to somebody, I would never expected my journey to take me to where I've been.
It's been 15 years, almost exactly February of 2007, that Sean Singletary brought this building into a frenzy. It was at this basket right here above me.
For North Carolina native, of course, Jaden Gardner, the home of the ACC tournament, is Greensboro for him, just about an hour away from where he grew up. He remembers in middle school the teachers turning on just that little TV in the corner of the classroom on so they could watch the ACC tournament during class.
It wasn't the roar of the engine or the triple-digit speeds that made Stephen Malazzi fall in love with racing. It was his father.
The thing that we really found helped to bond us was racing.
We spent just a tremendous amount of time together, and really built such a strong relationship.
Racing started out as a childhood hobby, but soon turned into something more.
I said to my dad, pretty good at the video games, bet you I'd kick some butt at this in real life. We went to a go-kart track, and within the first couple of times we were racing, we broke the track record.
By the age of 15, he was one of the best professional go-kart drivers in the nation. The father and son duo thought they were headed to NASCAR, but life had other plans.
One day, family doctor shows up at the house, basically in tears, says, "I'm so sorry." Turned out my dad had stage 4 non-small cell terminal lung cancer.
Stephen's father was given just 6 months to live.
In 2016, when I got my diagnosis, it seemed like, our racing career was going to come to an end. And at the time, I candidly didn't see how he would create a path for himself.
I sort of gave up on it after he got sick. I kind of just had accepted that I was always going to be somebody watching on the sidelines. And I was going to be that guy who questioned what if.
But in the spring of 2021, a surprise internship with the Ram Brothers Racing opened a door he thought was closed forever.
It was my dad who really ignited the spark that drove me back to it.
The internship bought him a ticket into a development driver's program. And after a year of driving in late model races, Ram Brothers Racing finally gave Steven the green flag for his first NASCAR appearance.
It's a little bit overwhelming to think about him sitting behind a truck in the Camping World Series.
But Steven's unlikely return to the racetrack isn't his biggest win.
Mr. Malazzi, he wants to say something to you.
It's the fact that his dad is still here to see it.
The fact that he has fought through all of the obstacles to be here for it 6 years later. 6 years after being just 6 months.
And on Saturday, Steven says he's not racing for a trophy, but for his father.
I'm a guy who could drive a race car, and I'm not sure that that's going to help him get better. But you know what it does do? I feel like it gives him hope. And I feel like that hope is a strong thing.
In a sea of navy cleats, a pair of orange Jordan mids stand out.
This is really like the first pair that I was able to get my hands on, and fortunate enough I was able to get spikes on them and wear them on the field. I think it gives me a little bit more of a swagger and contributes to that, having fun attitude and playing loose.
Just a couple weeks ago, the custom cleats took on a whole new meaning, with 3 letters, J-O-E, written in marker.
He's one of my dad's really good friends, and they have 2 sons with special needs that I'm really close with.
Been a long time, and he's like a 5th brother to me. He's the best one I ever asked for.
Joe Catania began the Challenger Baseball League in their Pennsylvania hometown, giving kids and adults of all abilities the chance to play ball.
He's the greatest dad, greatest coach ever been.
Yep. Yes, he was. Yeah, what position do you play?
Oh, I play anywhere my coach would tell me to.
And Chris coached alongside Joe for many years.
I learned a lot about, life and just appreciating what you have. And the Challenger League says a lot about Joe and, his legacy in our community at home. He was a really impactful person in my life and somebody that I always looked up to.
The whole Catania family got to come see Chris live out his baseball dreams at UVA.
They were sitting right up there, and I hit a home run on Friday in the 9th. And, just seeing their faces of how happy they were for me was just really cool.
A prominent community member, coach, and father, Joe was diagnosed with brain cancer.
We're coming home. My dad was fighting it. So we're praying, come on, let's do this. Let's knock it out. He says, Luke and Jimmy, I got some bad news to tell you. He said, doctor found something in his brain. And he's like, he's not gonna make it.
On May 1st, Chris checked his phone in the dugout and saw a text from Luke with the news.
I wore the shoes on Sunday and I wrote his name on them.
And then, this.
My first at bat, I went up to the plate and, I wrote his initials in the dirt and I hit a home run, and it was one of the coolest things I've ever done in my baseball career.
When I hit the first pitch, boom! We're like, oh my God, he's gonna hit right for my dad.
Yeah.
And home run. That was unbelievable.
That's what Chris said. That's what he just said.
He pointed right up. That's for you, Joe. That's for you.
Yes.
Chris and the Catania boys have a permanent reminder of their dad, Joe, on their shoes, on a patch, and in their hearts.
Going through the rest of the season, he's going to carry his name right there.
He's right here, right now, watching the game.
I know that they really appreciated it, and I know that Joe Catania is up there watching over me for the rest of my career.
I've been fishing basically since I grew up, since I knew how to.
No regular football bag here.
Me and my family, we would go out down Alligator Alley. The whole family, we'd go out and catch coolerfulls of bluegill. So if we get one on here, it's definitely gonna be a good sized fish. So let's see what we can do.
You'd never expect to find the same boisterous, sideline dancing Anthony Johnson on a quiet pond outside Charlottesville.
It just was something I grew to love, something to do outside of football. You know, it's real calm, real relaxing, like, you know, just being out in the water. Gotta get one on TV, man. You're on TV now.
Although fishing can be a release from football, Johnson's unwavering self-belief is just as evident.
Always confident, man, in everything that I do. I think that just comes with being a defensive back, though. Either a defensive back thing or a personality thing. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out.
Even with a busy football schedule, Johnson has found pockets of time this year to cast a line. Even getting a few teammates hooked.
I fish with KT and Billy Kemp. Those are the guys I normally fish with. It may have been too early for them, I don't know. Probably still in bed asleep. I kick their butt out here on the fishing creek too, so they get the best of both worlds. They get it out here on the lake and on the field.
On this summer day before fall camp though, football is far from the mind.
Just get to relax, get off my feet, just get my mind mentally ready for fall camp. You know, taking it in that this is my last fall camp ever, so I don't think it's hit me yet.
From an early age fishing with his grandfather, Johnson's learned many of life's lessons with a rod in hand.
I can see now I might not get many bites, so I gotta make them count when I get them. But if you're somebody like me, who know you're gonna catch it regardless, it's just only a matter of time then. Oh, I got one. Nothing to brag about, but it's a fish. Nice bass there. Told you I was gonna get one. See, now I can talk crap now.
While AJ sets his focus on a final season at UVA and his parents prepare for a possible future in the NFL, Johnson wants fishing to be a part of any plans.
That's the plan post-football, maybe even during if I can manage it. I want to open my own bait and tackle down in South Florida. Just another way to give back to the community as well.
One bad play can ruin any Saturday afternoon, but not much trips up Johnson out here.
The saying goes, a bad day of fishing is better than a good day in the office, so I'd rather much do this than be in the office, I can tell you that.